It's that time of the day. Mark up the time. Let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alright, market update time. I've had a few days off myself, as you guys realize. You know, some of you guys obviously really follow my work and I really thank you for that. And obviously some of you guys follow what I teach, and what I teach is just charting and analysis on the markets and reading the charts itself. So that's all I teach. I teach the truth. I don't teach what I think is going to happen. I just tell you what the market's doing, and you know, and we can just trade based on that. Anyhow, based on that, I just want to say thank you for listening to me, and yeah, some of you guys obviously really look forward to my daily videos, and I'm the same as well too. Some people that I watch on YouTube as well too. You know, I actually also look forward to that as well too. So anyway, let's get straight into a bit of a market update and what I'm seeing moving forward. Now, let's actually go through this. Let's actually just I want to look at two main charts here. And the first chart here is the Dow Jones, but I'm going to show you the Dow Jones on a line chart. And the reason why is because I was showing this last week, this particular chart, and we still have not crossed below. Let me just get a pen out. You can see we actually had this rundown peak, and we're still up here, so we still haven't actually crossed this peak here. This peak, which is this resistance level for me. Let me see if I can get a line there. That resistance for me on the Dow Jones, if we get a close above that, then that's a sign for me that we're going to race to new highs. This is the line in the sand for me. If we do get a close above the 18,000 level, the 18,000, yes, I do believe we're likely to race to new highs for the year. That's what I'm seeing here. But if we don't, if we fail through here and we don't get a close, we are going to go down, and we're going to go down hard. Now, either way, if we do race to new highs, we're going to race to just the new highs, and then we're going to reverse, and then we're going to head down. That's just my opinion. That's just what I think that's going to happen. Who knows? But by looking at this Dow Jones, and by looking at what's actually happening here, we're still getting this lower peak, and potentially another lower peak here. And the thing is when we're looking at these markets and looking at the Dow Jones, you can actually see this is actually flowing. Now, what gives me a confidence in actually saying that? Firstly, we can actually see the market's actually running down. It's actually getting a lot weaker than the S&P. It's still a lot weaker than the S&P. Now, you notice last time that we actually got to move down, you can actually see that the market actually started getting much deeper swings. So the market ran down, and we got a deep swing up, and the market ran down, and I had a deep swing. A deep swing simply means a normal swing would be about a 50% retracement. This is retracing like 80 to 90% and then dropping. 80 to 90% and then dropping. And that's exactly what we're getting here now. An 80 to 90% rise. As you can see here, it had a good rise up and then a drop and then big rise up. So that's the first thing that I do see, that the Dow Jones is definitely telling us something. Now, I also want to show you the transportation average. And I also want to show you what I see on that. Now, this transportation average, what I do see on this market, so on the Dow Jones transportation average, we can see a few things that's happening here, and I want to show you this. And this is what's giving me the confidence to say to you guys that what I'm seeing in this market, I don't believe this market's going to race to new highs. I think we're going to falter here, and we're going to start rolling over. And the transportation average is actually showing me that. If I bring up these lines through here, you actually can see a few things that's happening through here. Actually, you know what? Let me just take that off the screen and let me just show you Let me just show you what I see here. Let me squeeze this right up here. And obviously you can see this market's heading down and had this big double top formation. And let me just bring this up through here. So we had this double top formation. We had this bottom. We broke the low, so we made a lower low. And now we're getting like this weak buying period through here, which is like a bear flag. But look where the stochastic is. It's getting ready to roll over. And when the rollover happened, you can see last time we got up to here and then it rolled over. We got a rollover period through there. and through there as well, and so on and so forth. Now, it doesn't happen all the time, but in the move where we're getting the transportation average doing what it's doing right now, which is creating a really nice bear flag, and we're getting the stochastics ready to roll over, that to me spells more downside in the economy, more downside. This ETF, the Dow Jones transportation average, transportation average for me is very, very weak. So amongst all of that, guys, I look at the Nasdaq, I look at the S&P, I look at the Russell, I look at all those different markets out there, and I'm saying this is what the markets are doing, this is what's actually happening out there. And what I do see is that this market is definitely not a recovery yet, okay? Because you'd want to see the transportation average break new highs as well too. So for me, this transportation average is rolling over for me as well too. I believe we're going to start getting a rollover. So by looking at that, and again, once again looking at the Dow Jones, if my charts load, the Dow Jones, you can see here, this is the Dow Jones chart through here. You can see that it quite hasn't made that high yet. Looking at the S&P chart, the S&P has been the strongest out of all of them. We've almost bested this top up here. Now, just remember, guys, let me just delete all this off the screen. You can see we're at that line through there. But just remember, guys, this is the ultimate high point up through here that the market could not break through last time. If it breaks through that, then yeah, we're going to make new highs. There's just no doubt about it. I'm not going to kid myself here. And same with the Dow Jones. If we break above, especially if the Dow Jones breaks above this 18,000 level, and the S&P does break above this level and close above it, yeah, we're going to race the new highs. We're going to best new highs. We're going to have a good 1 to 2%, maybe in 3%. We're going to best new highs. We're going to blast above there, and then maybe the rollover happens. But I don't see that happening. I really do not see that happening. Hey, it could happen, but I don't see that happening, only because of what I'm seeing on the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones for me is leading the way. The Dow Jones is showing me what's actually happening, and that is actually breaking away from the S&P. As I said to you guys last week, that the S&P, this is the S&P here. The S&P is a bit stronger. Then the S&P is a bit stronger than the Dow Jones, and that for me is a sign that the Dow Jones is a lot more weaker. So therefore, I believe that's a sign for more downside. Same with the Russell as well too. We had a big run up, almost at this double top resistance, but you can see we're getting ready for another rollover on the stochastics, and same for the Nasdaq as well. Good run up. We're actually at that level of resistance once again, right? Which is basically right through there. That's that level of resistance through there of all this time, and we're at that level right now, and so that's where we're at right now on the Nasdaq, and yeah, so I do believe we'll likely get a rollover here, but I don't believe, guys, we're likely to start getting an explosion to the high side. Now we could, and on the Dow Jones, I'll be definitely watching this area through here, because that's that trend line that I'll be watching on the Nasdaq, and if it does run up, then we're definitely gonna get into an area of resistance up the top here. If it does break that, then yeah, we're gonna break the new highs. But for me, guys, I don't buy this little run up through here. I think we're likely to fail through here and then roll over. Same for the Russell. You can see the and also you can see the S&P as well too. The S&P held this support and then ran up, and the Dow Jones as well too had a little run up. But you can see once again that Dow Jones chart to me, if I go back to the daily chart, the Dow Jones for me is the chart. This is the daily chart. The Dow Jones for me, guys, is definitely speaking a lot more bearishness. If I go to say, and once again the transportation average, once again, guys, looking at this here and looking at this weekly chart, to me that's really weak, guys. You cannot tell me that's strong at all. We've had this big strong one down, and look at that buying, and not strong buying in the transportation average at all, like where the S&P have just been taken off. But the leader, the Dow Jones transportation average, this is actually not going up strong at all. We get this weak buying period. We've got these strong sellers getting this weak buyers, and the stochastics getting ready to roll over. Come on, tell me that's not. This has like an 80% chance already of rolling over now and then heading down to break new lows. And I believe the I believe then we're likely to start getting a descent back down towards these lows and breaking those lows as well too. So I think June, of everything that's happening in the markets right now, and I reckon June is going to be really, really telling month. I think, coming on with Brexit, I think we're talking about potential rate hikes. There's so much actually happening out there. Now you're getting big leaders like Bill Gross, who's a $1 billion sort of a bond trader. He's actually now shorting the bond market thing. Obviously he's shorting the debt, basically thinking that the debt's going to collapse. You have people like, I heard an interview just recently where I think it's the Prime Minister of Japan came out and said that we're going to get a world event like the Lehman Brothers collapse, something to that effect. Now, guys, whenever you get these much people out there, you have George Soros, you have Carl Icahn. These are big $1 billion, not $1 million, but multiple $1 billion profit takers from the markets. And guys, you can't be so oblivious to see what they're saying as well too. So it's just not me saying it and saying like I'm seeing what I'm seeing on the charts and what I'm seeing also in the marketplace. But guys, when you start to see like big $1 billion fund managers start to bet against the economy, or bet against the debt market, which is the bond market, when you start to see people like Carl Icahn say, which he did last year, say, I'm afraid we're going down a road, and Carl Icahn said that there's a day of reckoning coming. And once again, guys, the president of Japan, I'm pretty sure it was him, came out and said that we're going to see a world event like the Lehman Brothers collapse. Now remember, the Lehman Brothers collapse was just the United States, and that affected the world. What if we're going to get a world event like the Lehman Brothers collapse? That means like we're getting whole economies, the whole global market melting down. What's that going to look like on the charts? So guys, I don't care what you guys say. I'd rather be short this market right now. Even if it does keep going up, I'm happy being short, because if it does collapse, or not if, but when it does collapse, then I really, really, really do think that we're likely to see a lot more downside. Or no, when it does collapse, I think it's going to be really, really, real deadly. So guys, that's my little spiel for the week. That's my little spiel for what I see in the markets. Guys, even if you guys think this, even if you think the Dow, let's go back to the Dow here. Even if you think the Dow is actually going to go to wait for my charts to load up here. Even if you think the Dow is going to go up to 20,000 and stuff like that, that's your opinion and things like that. But what I'm going on, guys, especially with my longer term trades, is I'm saying, hang on a minute. I'm seeing all these big wealthy leaders out there saying the same thing here. They're all not stupid. They're all $1 billion hedge fund traders. They're all $1 billion, income earners of their respective fields in the markets, and their investors we're talking about here. Bill Gross, Carl Icahn, George Soros. They're all $1 billion earners in the markets because they're smart. All of them are saying the same thing right now, and they're all buying up a lot of gold as well too. So anyway, my charts are not loading up again, but that's my little spill. Hope you have a great week, guys. I'm not going to BS you here. Trading is hard. Over my 10 years of trading, I've learned some amazing systems and strategies, and I've put it all in my brand new Grab the Markets by the Balls course, and I'm giving you 100% free access. This whole course is 12 videos long and almost 10 hours of the best systems and strategies that I know. Click on the image below now to get 100% free access right now.